What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP. This is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
And welcome back to another episode of the Film Bros Podcast. What's up? What's going on, guys? People out there who are listening. What's going on, Josh? How you doing today?
I'm tired. Well, yeah, long day at work.
I'm sorry to hear that because I don't think.
Is it gonna get worse?
Yeah, I think we're probably. I was gonna say I'm hoping you had like a good day because to help kind of counterbalance it. Good thing I put this one kind of in the front because at least this topic because I was like, man, I know when you heard the news. I kid you not, guys. I'm gonna repeat exactly what happened. I walked by him and then like all I hear because I seen him on his phone and all I hear is, "Oh my fucking god, man!" And I was just like, some bad stuff happened, and I went on Twitter and I looked and I was like, okay, I understand why he was mad, and I'll tell you right now, we're just gonna like a Band-Aid, Josh. Might as well. My day was good though, so okay. I mean, and it doesn't really bother me anymore. I've learned, at least with this topic, I've learned to let go at this point. I've let go.
Okay, but before we get into the news, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Today's episode is sponsored by ZippyStream. If you are wondering how we make money to run our podcast, it's all because of this innovative platform. Here at Film Bros Podcast, we absolutely love using ZippyStream. It's the easiest way to convert listeners into an email list, but best of all, they find us sponsorship so we can keep making money doing what we love.
Suppose you're also a podcaster thinking about starting one. ZippyStream will help you find and manage a relationship with brands that are relevant to your audience. If you want to learn more, contact us as soon as possible. Everyone that signs up this month will get to claim £10 as a joining bonus, which is around $12 or something like that.
Just reach out to us by email or social media DMs, and I'll put you in touch with the guys at ZippyStream right away. Now back to the pod. With that is the new release date. Oh, well, because it has been delayed yet again. Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League has been delayed till February 2nd, 2024. So we had a release date that was supposed to come out May 26th. Got pushed back damn near almost a whole year. Well, technically a whole year because it was supposed to come out, I believe, February of 2023. And then it got pushed back to May.
Yeah.
And now it's all the way until February of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, like, at first I was like, you know what? It's fine. I mean, at first I was kind of upset and I was like, why again or whatever. But then I looked at the trailers. I looked back at everything they've showed us so far. It's just, honestly, at this point, I don't care. I'm like, dude, this game had me hyped when it was first announced. And it seems like with every single trailer, with every single pushback, especially with the trailers, because trailers are supposed to like hype you up.
Yeah,
they're supposed to make you want to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, the trailers haven't been making me want to play the game. It's kind of like the Gotham Knights effect with me because I seen the beginning trailers of that game too, and I was super hyped. And then as trailers came out, it was just like, ugh. I don't know. What do you think about this news though?
It makes me angry. I mean, like when I found out again that it was being delayed, I was like, bro, like people fucking suck sometimes. It's crazy how fans can just be like, hey, studio, we don't really like this. Y'all should change it. And then the studio's like, well, they don't like it, so let's put that shit back into development for another year. But I thought it looked fine. People just complain about battle passes, and that's... Come on.
I'm sure it's not just battle passes. I'm sure there's no way it's just battle passes. This game is super ambitious, okay? It has to follow up the Arkham games, okay? Those are like hands down in everybody's opinion, in my opinion at least. I'm assuming the general consensus says that the Arkham games are like peak Batman games. The graphics are still good. We've talked about how the Arkham Knight still holds up till this day.
It does, yes.
They have a lot to, they have a lot to compete with. Now, with Gotham Knights, that was made by WB. It wasn't made by Rocksteady. So I understood the graphics and everything. I kind of understood because Arkham Origins was kind of like that too, right? Like there was kind of a dip in quality when that game came out compared to Arkham City.
Yeah.
So I didn't pay too much mind. But this one, it has big shoes to fill. And from the trailers off the jump, it's not like even reaching the length that it needs to meet in order to even be at the best Batman game, which was, in my opinion, Arkham City, and they're hurting themselves. They set the bar too high and they can't reach the bar for a second time. And I'm pretty sure it has to do with that multiplayer stuff. But come on, if you guys perfected it back then, that use that same cheat code and, you know, add a little something else, I would have thought they would have had this in the bag.
They should have had it in the bag. It's a couple things because yes, I do believe it's the battle pass. I believe that turned people off hella quickly when they were like when that leak happened. And then I heard that one of the things was also that if you don't have connection at all, you can't even play like by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
you need
like
internet for that.
All that is like ground up stuff, you know what I mean? So that means they have to go back to the beginning and take out all that coding, restart, put something new in there just to appease fans. And I'm sure that takes a minute, but damn, bro, y'all could have we could have had this game by now if y'all just shut up sometime.
Yeah,
we would have been had it.
And we're in rocky territory right now with video games. I mean, we're at the point where they went from making solo stories that look great to now wanting to make solo stories that you can play with friends that look great. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we're taking a big leap into the future with all this stuff. You know, we're it's not just a battle royale game. It's not just this is an actual story that is going to require people to play with in order to do it. Mm-hmm. The premise at first was kind of like meh. I was like, Suicide Squad, do we really want this? I was like, I would have liked to have played as, you know, a Justice League character instead. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if this is the route that we're going, I mean, if they could have at least shined it up looking like the Arkham Knight and then had those graphics, it probably would have passed that bar that they set for themselves. But at this point, I'm just not excited for this game. I rather just wait and just when it comes on special, I'll buy it. That's basically what I'm gonna be waiting on now.
I guess that's fair. This sucks because I was really looking forward to this game. Like, when do we ever get to play as the bad guy?
But are they really bad guys though? They're gonna be anti-heroes. I don't think they're gonna be bad guys. Okay, but you're gonna do some crazy shit, but they're not gonna make you like do that crazy shit.
They're still bad guys. They're a team of bad guys. To be an anti-hero is completely different.
I mean, if you're a bad guy who only beats on other bad guys, are you actually an anti-hero? I mean, are you actually like a bad guy?
Oh, no. Well, they're bad guys doing it to save the world. That's the what makes them like
an anti-hero.
No, I don't think so. An anti-hero is a hero who like is very gray area, like the Punisher. He uses guns and stuff, and he's not afraid to like get his hands dirty and kill. While a hero like Daredevil or Spider-Man, you know, they're like no killing.
But that's them too.
No, well, I mean no, because they still kill. They're just on the side of humanity because of Brainiac and stuff in story. Doesn't make them anti-hero.
So they're on the good people side now.
Technically?
Because their interests align. So they're in the gray area, and because their interests align, that their gray is going to go to their side.
Their interests don't they're really anti-heroes. Align. It's either they do as they're told or they get their heads blown off.
So their interest is aligned. I don't want to get my head blown off. We don't want to blow off your head. Come on.
I don't know, man. Amanda Waller gets off to that. So.
I'm just saying, interests have aligned. They are anti-heroes. Any movie or game where the villain is not just the villain and is helping people and doing all this extra shit because they have feelings, they're anti-heroes now.
No.
Yes.
I think it's different.
And I think that's the problem with these kind of like games and movies and stuff is that they try to make it seem like no, they're still the bad guy. Look, like kind of like the Venom movie, like, oh, he bites some heads off. Oh no, he's still the bad guy. Is he though? Because he's only beating on bad guys, and yeah, he occasionally chomps somebody's head off, but it's not like they didn't deserve it in the first place. So it's like, you know what I mean? Anti-hero. You know, it's not like he's doing it to innocent people. It's people who are bad guys.
He's supposed to be doing it to innocent people. But that's besides the point. I don't know. I still feel very different about it.
Anti-hero stuff?
Yeah, very different. It's just... Yeah, no. I'm done thinking about it.
Okay, well...
It just fucking sucks. I hate that the game got delayed. That's it. That's my 2 cents. Out of the whole conversation. Just know that I fucking... Rockstar better be pumping out something good then, because holy shit, I am not waiting another fucking year for this. after the fact.
It's another year. I mean, it's a long time till February. You can't even get it for Christmas, dog. You can't even get it for Christmas
I know.
unless they move it forward. What if who knows? Maybe in a few months they're like, actually, it wasn't as long as we needed it, and we'll put it out in December or something. I mean, that could always happen. With video games, it's rare when you hear a move up release date. With movies, you kind of can get those, but like with video games, it's very rare. And the last time they did that was with Cyberpunk, and that didn't really.
Didn't God of War Ragnarok move up too?
Ragnarok? No, it got pushed back.
Could have sworn
It got pushed back once.
Could have, and then like once they said it was coming out, they like moved it up. Like
I think it was
a
like
week.
5 days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a week.
Yeah, like a week. Yeah, it's very rare. It hardly happens with video games,
Yeah.
but I mean, 5 days isn't like 2 months. So I mean,
That's true, yeah.
but we'll have to wait and see. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League being delayed, but you know what isn't being delayed, and apparently it had everybody in a frenzy, had a lot of people's underwears twisted up, and that was Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, being delayed. But it turns out that those rumors were false and actually not being delayed. So what's funny is that when Oppenheimer was announced, it was also announced that Barbie is going to be releasing along with it. And so it was kind of like a Oppenheimer versus Barbie showdown. That's what people are calling it.
Mhm.
And so when they said, "Oh, Oppenheimer is being delayed," everybody was like, "Oh, what? So we're not going to be able to see which one makes more money, a movie about explosions or a Barbie movie?" You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Margot Robbie's in there, and a lot of big names. We'll have to
Both are cinema. Both are gonna be cinema.
peak. So it wound up being cleared out. There was a lot of rumors going around. I'm telling you, like people were, and it came from the Wrap saying that it was planning to shift, but then the Wrap basically came out and redacted that and said, actually, no, it's still set to release on July 21st, 2023. I mean, it's gonna be. I think Barbie has a good shot. I mean, we talked about before that Margot Robbie, it seems like Hollywood is kind of looking at her like, oh, she can't sell tickets because, Babylon flopped. The movie before that had a flop that she was in as well. And Oppenheimer has Cillian Murphy. All right. He doesn't miss. Robert Downey Jr. A lot of, I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but a lot of great casts within this movie. Barbie too. Barbie's pretty stacked too. Simu Liu, Ryan Gosling's in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got good actors in both sides. I mean, I guess what I'm asking you is, which one do you think is gonna win on this weekend opening?
I'm thinking Oppenheimer. I'm thinking just because of I don't know who's directing Barbie. I forget her name or their name, but I think just because it's a Christopher Nolan film, I think that one's probably gonna set it up.
Greta is the one who's Greta Gerwig. I don't know a lot of her movies.
That's the one doing Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think because of it being a Nolan film, people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be it."
Yeah, Nolan is a pretty much bigger name than Greta Gerwig. I think I know that she made one other movie. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. I was seeing if there was a link, but it's just gonna. Actually, I could do it right now. Let me see what other movie she's done just to. But Christopher Nolan has to have a bigger name, right? Or am I tripping?
Yeah. Damn, it's like smacked my face against the fucking thing. But yeah. Clearly, I really think that his name being attached it's gonna be a plus, and I think it definitely might beat out Barbie. But again, Barbie has Ryan Gosling, and people like that man. He's kind of been a hot ticket since La La Land,
Mm-hmm.
so he's been the guy.
Okay, so she was an actress turned director. So she was in movies like No Strings Attached, Greenberg, 20th Century Woman, Arthur, Isle of Dogs. She didn't make her directorial debut till she made, I believe, Lady Bird in 2017.
Oh, I know that movie.
Yeah, in 2017 it has, who's in it? Oh, it's for A24 in Universal. So she wound up making that. Timothy Chalamet was in there. So big name. And then she went on and directed Little Women in 2019, and now she's directing
Barbie.
So she's kicking off her directorial debut pretty good, because both of those I seen Rotten Tomatoes on both of them, and they were both pretty good scores. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're both pretty good scores. I mean, like I said, I personally don't know her like that. I had to like literally look her up, but I could tell you a lot of Nolan's accomplishments and movies that he's made.
Yeah.
That in my opinion, I just want to see this movie, not only because Oppenheimer over Barbie, not only because it's Christopher Nolan, but this is his first movie over there at Universal. He jumped ship from Warner Brothers after everything that was happening. He didn't want to deal with that drama or the beef. He jumped over to Universal. Universal snatched him up quick, said, "Hey, we'll let you set off a nuclear bomb in your movie if you want," and the rest is history. So I really want to see how Nolan meshes with Universal. I want to see what kind of movie he produces. Will it hit as good with the money and the visual effects that Universal has? Because Universal has actually been killing it in the movie game. So they've been pretty good. And to be honest, it's kind of friendly fire with Barbie, because I believe Barbie's made from Universal as well. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just a boy thing, but I want to see things blow up.
Yeah. I'm not too sure. That's why I think just because it has Christopher's name, it'll do better. But stranger things have happened in the box office world, like Mario beating out Air for some reason. You know what I mean?
If we're gonna go in line to buy tickets for Oppenheimer and somehow end up in Barbie,
how did we get it?
Stranger things have happened. So you think Oppenheimer's gonna take it?
Yes.
I think Oppenheimer's gonna take it, not just because I'm gonna give it my money. I'm gonna probably go watch that one first. Barbie, to me, honestly, I can probably wait for streaming. I think that's probably gonna be a streaming movie.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of showdowns, though, now this one is kind of a grain of salt. I don't know if things haven't switched just yet. I don't know if things are moving around. I was on Twitter, and Scooper, the Hollywood Handle, wound up putting out there saying that Despicable Me 4 and Kung Fu Panda 4 will both release on the same day next year. I was like, that's cool. I mean, but I looked it up and I've tried to find articles. They're not coming out the same day. Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming out all the way in March, and I believe Despicable Me 4 is coming out in July. Yep, July. So I'm not sure if it was a typo, or maybe things just haven't switched around. And I'm getting this where the movies are coming out from Movie Insider. Nothing has switched around, so it looks like they're both gonna be coming out in different times. I don't know why they would go up head to head, because they're both under Universal. It's kind of like what they're doing right now with Barbie and Oppenheimer. You know what I mean? If they do that again, Universal is just like, bro, I don't rather be in competition with myself, because at least if there's two movies out there, I'm both getting the money. You know what I mean? I get so since nothing has officially been out, I guess we have to talk speculation here. But to speculate, who would you think would win in a box office effort? I mean, if they were both to come out at the same time, like the Hollywood Handle is reporting, if things switch around and they wind up coming out at the same day, what do you think? Well, who do you think will take the cake with this one?
I want to say Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda?
Just because it's been a long time, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long minute since they announced this, and people really loved the third one. But at the same time, I saw what that the Kid Grew one did. The box office.
Oh yeah, that one almost made $1 billion.
Yeah, and people were like, "Man, let's go watch it in ties."
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's a large following for the Minions. Kung Fu Panda is that one has been on a hiatus, and to be fair, most of I did the research and I was like, I wonder how many if there's any Kung Fu Panda in the billions mark or
Yeah.
Minions.
Mhm.
Minions have a lot in the billions mark. They're actually the 2015 Minions movie is number 4 in the highest animated animation charts with 1,150,000,000, etc., etc. We got Despicable Me 3 taking up the 7th spot with 1,000,000,000 as well. Finding Dory, not Finding Dory. Despicable Me 2 at number 11 with not 1,000,000,000, barely scratching it, 975,000. Post pandemic, the 2022 film Minions: Rise of Gru almost made 1,000,000,000. About literally like about 40,000 shy from 1,000,000,000.
Damn.
Yeah, like that's how close it got, and it's crazy because it did do a bounce back from the whole pandemic happening. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So a lot of the top spots, and the number 1 spot for anybody who's curious, the most paid animated movie comes from Disney, and it is Frozen 2, and right behind it is the first one. So they got the box office in a chokehold, and for number 3 they got Incredibles 2, which is crazy. So
Very crazy.
yeah. But yeah, so Minions has done numbers for a while, and I would say if they were to go head to head, I think Kung Fu Panda could have a chance, but ultimately Minions does have a bigger fan base because they've been more consistent.
That's what I'm saying.
If Kung Fu Panda had, Kung Fu Panda had the TV shows and everything, but they were never like like Minions. You know what I mean? Because Minions have their spinoffs, but everything looks great. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Illumination has got everything down.
Mhm.
Kung Fu Panda is gonna basically have to do what Puss in Boots did and recapture the audience. You know what I mean?
Basically, which is insane because I really like these. I really like the first 3, and like I told you, I was excited for the 4th one. But I don't know, cause the Minions has a really big following for no reason.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Shrek movies for no reason.
Yeah, because you brought up the whole suit and tie thing when everybody went to go do that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that, and everybody.
Let's go watch it, the Suit and Ties, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, I wasn't a part of that crew, but there you go. So if you guys are excited, at least we're getting a new Kung Fu Panda movie and also a Despicable Me movie next year. So if you guys are excited about that, that's great. I mean, if you want to add fuel to the fire, who would you guys pick? Let us know. Moving on though, we also got reports as well that, maybe Mia Goth is actually what if she's her? You know what I mean? Because she went from doing A24 movies, like her starting off making X and Pearl, to jumping up to being now in an MCU movie, and not just any MCU movie, the new Blade movie. So her horror chops are really kicking in here, and they're putting her in what sounds to be the first R-rated MCU project. Because I believe this one's coming out before Deadpool 3, right?
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to. So this one would be technically the first R-rated MCU project,
Assuming it's R-rated.
assuming that they actually, get it done. We talked about Mia Goth before, her being kind of upset and talking with interviews when she was releasing her latest movie. I believe is called Infinity Pool, where she basically was like, man, there should be a spot for the Oscars for like horror people and the people in that genre, because they always feel like they're kind of undercut,
Yeah.
and there is some really good performance from horror horror
sure.
actresses and actors. Now she's actually getting her one of her bigger roles now. Marvel's a behemoth, and if you get cast in a Marvel movie, I don't know where Marvel's gonna be. I don't know where Marvel's gonna be. I'm only talking about that as of right now. Right now, Marvel is kind of like in a broken spot because they're trying to move forward, but now we got uncertainty with majors, right? We got their CGI not looking too good. We got the story not hitting too well. We got TV shows that aren't doing too well as well. So Marvel has a lot of problems. So we don't know where they're gonna be when Blade comes out. I'm sure they're hoping and banking that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 really, does great. They're in a pickle, and I'm hoping that this movie comes out and it does her justice. So she could either be in a great ship right now, like the Titanic, or she could be sinking down with this great ship, like the Titanic.
Good way to put it. Yeah, no, I heard about this and I was like, well, I don't think I've seen her in anything other, not that I know of.
No, I already ordered the movies. We're gonna watch them.
Oh.
X and Pearl.
Oh yeah, see, so I haven't even seen those.
Yeah.
But I hear she's great in both of them. So she could be a number of things. She could be like, just a regular vampire. She could be Blake's sidekick. She could just be a normal person. You know what I mean?
She looks like a vampire.
She could be a vampire.
Loki.
She could be like Dracula or something. Make Dracula a female.
Oh man, you're gonna get a lot of people.
MCU.
A lot of people yelling at you.
But
Yeah.
if her chops are that good, I expect her to like deliver that shit to the MCU.
I just can't wait for Blade. I want to hear more casting coming from this, but
Me with Fantastic Four.
Masha Ali, man,
Yeah.
like I probably butchered his name, but he's a great actor. I love that dude. I loved him in Luke Cage. I've seen him in a few other movies where he's just this he's a menace, bro. He's a great actor. So him being cast as Blade, I have no doubt it's gonna be great. And I'm just hoping that, you know, the shaky part, the hopeful part is saying that he's gonna do the best job, and he's gonna, you know, make this movie his own. But then the little skeptical part where, you know, where I gotta be logical, Marvel's not in the best spot, and so what if it comes out to be what he did the best with what he got? You know what I mean? And I don't want it to be like that. I want him to get the best script, which is good that they had to redo the whole script because apparently it got an I don't know if we made an episode when this came out, because I believe this was like right before or right in the beginning when we were getting our podcast up and running, but like apparently they made like this 90-page script or something, and he didn't like it or whatever.
The rewrites of Blade. We talked about it for a little bit.
Yeah, and
It's one of
so
our older episodes.
yeah, way back there. If you guys want to check it out, they wound up scrapping that and saying that Marshall Ali was basically furious about it. According to rumors or whatever, and he was basically like, I'm not doing this shit. He's an Academy Award winner. You got him playing Blade. He's not going to want to read some bullshit ass script.
Exactly.
He's going to look at this and be like, this is my line? You know what I mean? Like, no. So I'm hoping that this movie shapes up to be the best, and hopefully Mia Goth gets to shine bright in this one and get her career really sailing. That was gonna be a tongue twister.
Yeah, no. I'm hoping it all works out for her in the MCU. Good luck to her, for real.
Yeah, we'll see where she pops up next. Moving on though to your favorite subject, DC. So apparently there's rumors out there now. There was rumors before saying, and I think we covered it in a different episode as well, where apparently James Gunn was thinking about hiring Andy Muschietti to direct Superman. But then those were debunked, and it turned out, and I even told you a long time ago, James Gunn is not going to let Andy Muschietti direct Superman. If this is his flagpole ship to sink or swim, James Gunn was going to do that shit. So he wound up doing it. That kind of left something in limbo, which was Andy Muschietti, because there was rumors out there saying that no, he's getting another project. He's going to be directing a different project. It's just depending on whenever the new DCU comes up, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people were speculating it might be one of these ones that James Gunn had rolled out. And the one that a lot of people and a lot of scoopers are kind of landing on is that Andy Muschietti might be directing the new Batman, The Brave and the Bold.
I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know.
I mean, if you're excited for The Flash, you'll probably be okay with it, because I mean, he's handling two Batman in there. Now, how those Batman are gonna turn out, who knows? I've seen the clips with Keaton in it, and I don't know if it's because of Keaton. I don't know what the problem is, but I don't like the way he handles that Batman. Ben Affleck kind of looks good, but I mean, he even said himself like he's only gonna be in there for maybe like 5 minutes. I don't know. this kind of, I gotta see what he produces with the Flash, and I'll tell you right now, the Flash is not looking so good to me. I'll probably talk about that in a different episode, but it's like, yeah, I don't know if Andy Muschietti should be attached to anything in the future as of right now until we see how the Flash does. And maybe that's why it's just a rumor, and maybe it's on the table. If the Flash does do good, maybe you want to hire him, or if the Flash does bad, maybe, go back to horror, Andy Muschietti.
The Flash movie. Okay, so I don't know if I trust Andy Muschietti with Brave and the Bold, let alone Batman. I know he's juggling too in the Flash, but those are pre-established. You know what I mean? You get to kind of hold the torch for the next generation, which is the Brave and the Bold. I don't know if he can do it. Yeah, I don't know if he can do it. It's a little weird to think that, like, after handling the Flash, because some of it looks very iffy, and you're just like, well, can he really handle the Batman? Not in my eyes, no. The Brave and the Bold, even if they are going the Damian route, I'm sure he could write a very good Damian, but Batman, no.
But what if somebody makes the argument like, okay, well, that's the problem on why he couldn't adapt these Batman, because they were pre-established. What if he is with the full reign that he gets with Batman and the Brave and the Bold, that he will make and produce a better Batman?
Nah, it would be English hard. It would be James Gunn's Batman technically. So
yeah,
it's not his Batman. Like, you know how Matt Reeves has his Batman and Christian.
So regardless, he's still gonna have to build up a pre-established Batman.
Exactly.
Not a Batman he wants, but a Batman that is given to him.
A Batman that James Gunn will slap on his desk and be like, "You got to make this Batman now."
So that's a big thumbs down for you.
Yeah, no, I don't know vibing with that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think I've seen a lot that Andy Muschietti has done, to be honest. I think we talked about a couple of the movies that he's done here before. Let's see. Oh yeah, so he's done the It movies, obviously horror.
Yeah.
He's gonna be on Welcome to Derry. He's gonna be I believe he's gonna direct the first episode and be an executive producer for the rest.
Yeah.
He made Mama.
Mm-hmm.
So he's made mostly horror movies. I don't know. I get it. Hamada was honestly, he had some hits with it with James Wan. Hamada did a good thing because Hamada was in charge of the horror aspect over there at WB, right? He was the CEO for that. He successfully brought up the Conjuring universe. He did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
He brought some of his filmmakers over to his new DC when he was creating it.
He did.
David F. Sandberg, James Wan, and now Andy Muschietti. As you can tell, David F. Sandberg was reliable. Like I said, he was good. He was a reliable unit. I don't think he was bad. I think he did a decent job. I think he can take a little bit of time to brush up just a little bit more, so he could be a little bit more one of the greats in that space. But I just think he got sick of it. Now he's not going to be in it regardless. James Wan killed it. Aquaman, the visuals in Aquaman was great. Aquaman. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, Aquaman did have great visuals and stuff. It's just
that one shot fight scene in the house.
Yeah,
crazy.
Very good stuff.
Goes hard.
Yeah, it goes very, very hard in the paint. Aquaman. It's just, I don't know what it is.
There's still something that hits like not comic book movie.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I see that because even in Aquaman, and I think those are those aspects that I don't like, is that it just hits as like not a compelling story within that universe. What I liked about Aquaman was Black Manta. I think he was really well written. I don't know if that was a pre-established thing, but like you could always tell like the remnants in those movies, at least the earlier movies of the DCU, where like it kind of seemed like they were going based off what was pre-written and then just slowly got watered down. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Yeah. But Andy Muschietti is being praised right now. The Flash is the best movie. Tom Cruise says so. Mm-hmm. Ben Affleck says so. James Gunn says so. I don't know if you can believe him. David Zaslav says so. They think so much that
I haven't seen not Zaslav. What's his name? The other dude that works with James Gunn, Peter.
Peter Safran,
Haven't heard him say anything.
he just wants to stay completely out of everything. He does not even want to engage.
He's like, you come up with the stuff, I'll just produce it.
Yeah, you handle the Twitter mob. So Andy Muschietti is being praised right now. We haven't seen the movie yet, but they're gonna put it out at CinemaCon, as an early screening for everybody. So if the film does well, and you sit there and you're like, this is the best comic book movie of all time, like everybody's talking about, you have said it to me before, okay? I'm still skeptical about it. You're calling it.
It's gonna be
and if it winds up being good, you can gatekeep. That's fine. I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
But like, if this movie does good, and it's the best movie you've seen in a long time,
Okay.
and they come out and say Andy Muschietti is gonna direct the Batman: The Brave and the Bold, you taking it? You'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll take it.
If it's the best movie of all time.
Yes.
But if you go in there and you're disappointed, you're gonna.
If it's because you know how we rank and talk about movies. If it's less than what I expect, which I expect a lot because they're praising the fuck out of this movie, then yeah.
Okay. All right. I would 100% from what I've seen from the trailer. I'm just gonna say I don't think so, and I just don't think that he can do the Batman in my opinion. But if the movie does really good, if the Flash does really good, and he is announced for Batman: The Brave and the Bold, then I will give him that shot.
Yeah.
You know me. I'm one of those people that will give you the shot if you need to take it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you make the bucket, cool. If you miss, go back and practice a little bit more. You know what I mean? So hopefully he nails this Flash movie. Hopefully, if this rumor is true, we'll have to wait to see until it's confirmed by like all the trades, Hollywood Reporter, etc., etc. Until then, take it with a grain of salt. This is just a rumor and theory talk. Theory. Moving on though, what's something that is confirmed is a Conjuring TV series that is going to be releasing with the new streaming service Max, Warner Brothers Discovery's Max. We talked about a few of their shows and TV shows that were coming out in the last episode or a couple episodes ago. If you guys want to check that out, I didn't talk about this one because it was still kind of coming out on who the producer was gonna be. They were still trying to. It seemed like they were still making out what it was gonna be. And it seems like they landed on what they're looking for. And it's basically going to just be just a series of, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be about. And I can't even think about. I mean, they have already their own spin-off series. They got Annabelle. They got The Nun. James Wan's going to be producing on this one. The original director and producer of the Conjuring movies. Yep, they're also going to be coming out with the new Aquaman 2 movie. But yeah, not really much to talk about. There's nothing really too concrete from what I'm reading. I'm getting this off of IGN. Yeah, are you excited for a Conjuring movie or show?
Yes, but only if it covers things from like not the movies, if that makes any sense. Because they had hella adventures, right? They went on way more than 4 adventures plus Annabelle, and I know they can like tweak it or whatever else, but the whole point of those movies is that they're based on real events, and then they exaggerate it obviously and whatnot. But I think this might be the safest route because I think the 4th one did kind of bad.
That one did bad because they argue it was because it was a theater and day release kind of thing on streaming. Mm-hmm. It was due to the pandemic. It was COVID times. We could say that. Honestly, I watched it. What was it called? The Devil Within Me.
The Devil Made Me Do It.
The Devil Made Me Do It. I didn't think it was bad. I kind of liked it. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it.
I kind of liked it. It wasn't too bad.
It was alright. But that's why I can't remember if it did numbers. So maybe they're just like, well, we still like the series. We just gotta either go younger with it, cast a younger married couple, or just this is just one of them things where they're like, well, we don't want to give a full movie because we don't know if people want a full movie.
I get that. We're probably gonna talk a little bit more in depth about it a little bit later with one of the topics that I have on here. But I don't know what it is. I think I'm just getting tired of these TV series. I know that they got to do it for their streaming services, but I think I'm getting tired of the whole movie to TV like adaptations.
You just don't like TV in general.
No, I enjoy TV. It's just I enjoy TV to be nice and precise and just get to the point kind of thing. And even don't feed us too much to the point where we don't wait for the next episode. You know what I mean? And I think with like movie to TV series is that their stories are so short because they're used to a movie format. It's so short that they just bloat these TV series with a bunch of unnecessary shit to extend it for obviously time and all that to pad time and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
When you know that things could have been made in an easily 1 hour movie and could have been handled. Like original TV series, like the show The Bear that you put me on. You know what I mean? That one was made for TV. They only said enough episodes that was going to be made for the show. The same thing with You. You probably like You because of the fact that, you know, it leaves you with cliffhangers. It makes you keep guessing for every single, you know, episode.
Yeah.
Because they write it for that series, for that format. When you have movies that need to be adapted into TV shows, they don't have enough material to do that. Or maybe they don't have the writers that are, you know, able to produce something so long when they're used to movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think I understand what you're saying.
It's a difference. There is good TV shows out there and there's good TV. Like Rian Johnson, he's a director who makes movies. But then he went ahead and made this show. It's called Poker Face.
Yeah.
It's actually really good and it fits. It's fine. And every single episode is engaging. It's just, and there's no there's not a lot of fat to cut off or anything. Everything is fed to you great. So I like TV. I like movies better than TV. But so when a TV show actually captivates me, I hold that shit up to a standard.
I guess that's fair. It's just, I think that's the thing. They just don't want to. They don't want to give them a movie because they haven't. The last one was kind of cheeks. I think that's it.
And I get that, and I understand. You know what? Maybe it doesn't work as a movie. Maybe it works as a TV show because they have had that too. There was a couple hits where that did work, and I applaud them. I can't really think off the top. Oh, Star Trek. Star Trek is one of them. I mean, I don't watch Star Trek, but I know that the TV show is doing numbers and a lot of people like it. Whereas the movies weren't doing. I mean, obviously box office is different than TV shows, but it looks like a lot more consistency within the TV shows than the movies because look at that. We haven't even gotten a new Star Trek movie, you know? So, I mean, it just depends on what works better for the audience. And if the movie doesn't work good as a TV format, don't do that. Just make original TV content and call it something different. If you need a horror thing and say it is a spinoff or something, that's fine. But why would you put your movie in the back burner back on TV and then have it walk and then make it run again when it's doing good? Let's say like everybody loves it or whatever and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, we'll make another feature length movie about it. That kind of seems like you're going to start being able to point out like, oh, which one is too a little explicit, my bad, but I have no other way to put it, is like what movie is too pussy to cross over to, you know, the deep end. You know what I mean? Like what if it's a TV show, that means they're in the kiddie side of the pool. You know what I mean? When it gets into the big kid side, it's a movie. And why would you want it to jump back and forth?
Okay, yeah. I understand now. I understand a little better coming from your POV. It's just hard to imagine what this would be like for not just for Max but as a show, because they have quite a bit more to run through with these stories, and all I really care about, or all I cared about, was the Crooked Man, and they took that away from me. So I was just like, well, I don't really give a fuck about the series anymore. So Like the movies are kind of cool, and I didn't really like Annabelle. I might watch this show. I don't know. Depends on what story it is, and if they're going season by season, like kind of like how you were saying American Horror Story is. Like if they're going season by season, it's different things, then okay. But I don't need another Supernatural. I don't need another shit like that where it's just people solving problems. Each episode is a villain a week type of thing. I don't need that.
Yeah, I think if the Conjuring series, if they do it, that'd be cool to do it. Like an American Horror Stories kind of thing. An anthology series, you know.
Yeah.
Different hauntings in different places. And
I just want to see the Crooked Man so bad.
Yeah, maybe they could do that. The Crooked Man, but maybe him just, you know, haunting the family before they get help. And, you know, maybe we don't have to necessarily, you know, see the whoever the two are.
Damn you, James Wan, for canceling that.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting. There's nothing really too concrete about it. We do know that James Wan will be producing and Safran. So who knows? Maybe Wan's gonna get a couple episodes to direct, maybe a full season. Who knows? It's interesting. Like I said, TV shows have now cut between the fine line of, you know, a movie star and TV shows, because you basically can get if they back it up 100% and say, hey, it's basically going to be like a movie, they can get big movie directors and big talent to come play parts in these shows.
Honestly, yeah.
And what if they get people that you never thought would be in a horror movie into a Conjuring season? That'd be crazy. We'll have to wait and see, right?
Yeah.
But moving on, something horrific, something horrifying, something is completely shaking up the internet. It's insane. I don't know how you feel about this. I don't know if you've seen it. You used to be a big fan of this movie. Or maybe you still are as an adult. So it's gonna be interesting to know what your take is on this. But we got word on top of the casting that we got for Lilo.
Yeah.
We got Zach Galifianakis as Pleakley.
Yes.
Now joining the cast is Sydney Agundog. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. She has been cast as Nani from what's going to be the new remake of Lilo and Stitch.
Well, yeah. Very interesting cast they got coming together. I'm still very iffy about the Zach Galifianakis part, but everyone else looks like it's coming together.
Now, it looks fine to me. I'm gonna say that right now. I looked into her movies, and she's fairly new on the scene as well. She is a Hawaiian native, so, you know, representation, right? A lot of people are saying that why they get a light-skinned native when Nani's a dark skin, and that's what basically has got the internet all riled up.
Man.
Is that they believe it's another, swap. Even though they're both, obviously she's a native, a Hawaiian native. Apparently she's too light-skinned to be
enough.
playing Nani.
It's never enough.
Yeah.
For the internet.
So I don't know. Like I said, it's fine with me, as long as Stitch looks good, I think, and the acting's good. Like, there hasn't really been high hopes for me with this movie, because here's what I think. I think movies would do better. Like, don't get me wrong, representation's cool, and I think you getting the actors that look the role is always something that you need. But what about if they have the chops to do it? You know what I mean? And seeing that, we're getting fresh people that haven't really been in movies, like, that's what worries me about the movie the most. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a firm believer, like, get the person that's right for the job. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, what they look like, whatever. If you got to write it in a different way, write it in a different way. Maybe not. If you can't get the right cast for this, maybe do it in a different way, in a different setting. You know what I mean? Change up the story, do an all new story. Maybe not necessarily do the remake to, you know what I mean? If you can't find a Hawaiian cast, maybe do it in New York, where you can find somebody who can act in New York or something, and adapt the story there.
But that's the thing, though, because these are the people that are right for the job, even if they are up and coming. You know what I mean? There's clearly something in her that made the Disney people like, yep, she's the one.
Yeah, and that could be the case, right? And that's fine. But I think with high profile movies like remakes, they already have a bad rap to them as it is, if that makes sense. You know, a lot of people say when they get a remake or a new show from them is very Disney. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say Disney vibes. I say it's the Disneyfication.
That's not a word.
Some people say it gives Disney vibes, and that's what worries me when you get people that barely know how to act and everything, because that's what gives Disney vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not good camera, bad acting. You know, like you don't want to see that in a movie that you hope the remake would be. You know, recapture that nostalgia. That's what they're going for, right? Recapturing that nostalgia.
I'm trying to, yeah.
Recapture that, but also giving us something fresh. If you can't make it happen this way, that's fine. But making it fresh and capturing that nostalgia would go by, in my opinion, 10 times better than getting these people who are Hawaiian. Yes, representation. Yes, I agree. But if they have never acted or been in a movie before, or has even, you know, because she doesn't have a lot of credits, all right, at all. Like she only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little things. I believe the little girl that's playing Lilo, she only had like 2 or 3. I mean, if they have it in them and Disney sees something cool, go ahead, take the risk. But at the same time, that makes me be like, well, I don't want to see it in theaters because they're taking the risk, and I'd rather play it safe and wait for streaming. You know what I mean? So that's going to hurt them. And I think a lot of people see it like that too.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they'll get it right.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're putting trust in this?
Firm believer.
Is this because you're a big fan of Stitch? I remember you, man. You used to love Stitch.
What's gonna set the tone, I think, for this movie is what Stitch is gonna look like.
Yeah, that's one thing too. If they don't make Stitch look right,
Like
that's gonna be
not
crazy.
the actresses and actors, sure. Like the fact that they're going Hawaiian and stuff, amazing. Very cool for them to do that. They could have casted normal white people. You know what I mean? Like, but no, they went out of their way, saw Hawaiian heritage and stuff, so they're doing the best they can. Again, if you're not right for the job, I'm sorry, you're not right for the job. They're gonna pick someone, although not pigmentation, but someone that can give you the performance. What do you call it? What's gonna set the tone is what Stitch is gonna look like. Because yeah, we like Lilo and her sister, but Lilo and Stitch. We need to see what Stitch looks like, and I think when that trailer drops and we see what he looks like, that'll set the tone for how everything else is gonna move.
Yeah. They're going to have to make an immaculate movie out of this then, because, like I said, if the trailer captivates me, and yeah, if Stitch looks good, there might be a chance for movie theater arrival, you know what I mean? But if the trailers don't wow me, then this is just going to go on another pile of Disney remakes that could have been but weren't, you know?
I want to see what Stitch looks like.
Pleakley.
What Pleakley will look like.
Jumba.
What Jumba will look like. And then I want to see what Bubbles. I don't know who's gonna play Mr. Bubbles.
They should get that guy who what's his name? The dude from Mission Impossible, the black dude.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking.
Him, I think.
I don't
him.
know his name, but I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. If you guys watch Mission Impossible, you'll know too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who they could get. I just hope they don't do The Rock, because I know they'll probably do that. But
it'll probably be The Rock
to see Stitch throw a book at him, that would be funny though.
if that happens. He probably puts in the contract, the book is not actually allowed to hit me. Got to fly past me. Watch. The Rock is like that. Yeah, but another thing that I want to see in that movie, that I really want to see, is a live action of the red ship that they fly at the end.
Oh,
That big one.
yeah.
I want to see what that look, because you see how like it dips in the bottom and it's like all white in there, like at the bottom, and has the markings in the bottom. Like I want to see how that would look in live action. I've always wanted to see how it would look real, and hopefully they do that gag where it goes through the crack and then it comes through and it hits the dude's ice cream. Just barely.
Oh yeah,
I hope they do that gag in real live action. If they do that,
that'll be a plus for sure.
take my money.
Oh, I want to know what the beach. I hope the beach scenes look nice.
Oh
yeah. I hope the water looks good. Like, cause the whole beginning sequence where where she's like trying to feed the fish and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I hope we get that, and the fish look dope, and the water looks clean. Like I want something like that. That would be cool.
Oh man, they better cast somebody that looks exactly like that girl she beats up in the beginning.
Oh, the one
With the red
like,
hair
yeah,
and the
yeah.
glasses. Oh man, they better.
She's like, you got cooties, and then she beats her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is another kind of sensitive thing that Hollywood's whitewashing or whatever, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It's not that. I mean, like you were saying, if they got the chops and she's the best actress for the job, if they were like, hey, you're Hawaiian,
Yeah.
you check all the boxes or whatever, I'll trust until I see a trailer.
Exactly.
And maybe we shouldn't be worrying about the skin. Maybe we should just worry about the nationality.
The internet is never satisfied. There's always something. You're always ruffling someone's feathers, even when you try to do something right. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like I said, they could have casted white people, like generic white people,
Mm-hmm.
like, and then it would have pissed off people regardless.
Yeah, but a Hawaiian who's light skinned.
That's where I draw the line.
Oh man, people got bigger things to worry about. Come on now. But moving on though. Also, another rumor that could be happening. Now, we heard that there is a live action How to Train Your Dragon remake in the works. Now, there's a rumor that Asher Angel, the star of Shazam 1 and 2, will be playing Hiccup in this franchise. Now, I haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon. Well, I have seen it. I've seen the first one. I got to watch the other two with the kids. Or 4. I don't know how many there is.
I think there's 4.
I heard these movies are masterpieces. I heard like that people were like praising this movie,
Mm-hmm.
that these are slept on, that
Yeah.
animation's great, that the story builds up great in the 3 or whatever. I was looking at him and I seen the picture, and I like this article especially because he kind of looks like him, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that they got it right.
Yeah, so if he is the one who's gonna do it now, How to Train Your Dragon, I thought it was like a sleeper, but apparently there is a lot of people that watch it, and a lot of people are excited about this. This is a $1 billion franchise, so if they can bring this up to live action and people love it, get these dragons right, and actually have him be the star, I don't know, man. This franchise might do well in live action.
Yeah, maybe tying someone like him to it definitely is a plus. Because I liked him as Billy. So I mean,
wow. That's how you sounded.
I liked him as Billy. Shut up. I liked him as Billy.
I liked him as Billy.
I like Billy. No, I liked him as Billy in Shazam. So, I think tying him to this kind of makes me want to see it a little bit more. I still need to watch the movies. I haven't seen them.
Yeah, we gotta watch them, man.
Yeah.
I gotta watch these two because, or maybe sit down with the kids to watch them because, I don't know. I like animation. I don't know why. Maybe I just thought this was like kids movies or something, but I heard like it kind of gets a little bit more, mature. So I don't know. I'm down to watch them. I'll give it a watch if they're.
And I like my animation too, but these ones I just kind of avoided. I don't know why. Maybe it's my thing with like.
I don't think you like medieval stuff,
why.
and dragons
Like
remind you.
Vikings and medieval.
Yeah,
and
and this movie is those things.
So I mean, I'll watch it. Maybe this will kind of be my little my turnaround. But till then, I don't know, because I mean, I'd still watch like Kung Fu Panda, and like people are always comparing the trilogy to that trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, well, I don't know. I've only seen Kung Fu Panda, so maybe we do gotta watch him.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they announce that he's attached, this is just a rumor. Still, if they announce that he's attached and it's actually coming through, I'll probably watch these movies before I, get to this live action, just so I can, be
Just
up
you
to
can
the
be
know.
like, hey, that's
Yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio. But yeah, so if you guys are a Shazam 2 fan or 1 and like Asher Angel, because I would say Shazam 1 fan because he has a lot more screen time in that one, then I thought he killed it in that role in Shazam 1.
Yeah.
And I think he killed it in Shazam 2 if
Mhm.
Zachary Levi would have stuck with the it's not a Shazam thing. But anyways, going up to our last topic though, Amazon gonna revive multiple projects. So now, last year I believe in March of 2022, Amazon wound up buying NGM for this big $1 billion buyout.
Yeah.
With that came a lot of properties, a lot of IPs. Two of them are being kind of ramped up as of right now, which is RoboCop and Stargate. If you haven't heard of them, they are very popular now.
I don't know what Stargate is.
Stargate's is old. Oh yeah, sorry. It's an older show where it's basically like a Star Trek, but a gritty, like Dune meets Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing, gritty, kind of like sci-fi kind of thing. Yeah, Kate Sackhoff was in there.
I know RoboCop. I love RoboCop.
Yeah. Now a lot of people didn't really like the new one that came out, like the newest one. So that one didn't really, hit as well. But also coming with those IPs, RoboCop and Stargate. Those are the two that are being ramped up into production, but the other ones are coming shortly, and these are the ones that they have lined up. And this is coming from Deadline. They got Legally Blonde gonna be coming up for a reboot and or a remake.
Okay.
I thought they were making a third part as of recently. That's what I heard. Not 100%, but
maybe that's it.
Yeah. Next, we're also getting a new Poltergeist. That's another IP that they're going to revive. We don't know if it's a TV show or a movie just yet. I believe the last movie just did terrible. That movie made me laugh. I seen it in theaters and I was pissed because I loved the original. I don't know if you've seen the remake.
No.
I'm gonna show it to you so you can laugh a little bit.
Okay.
The scary parts were funny in that movie, and it was so depressing. Next up will be the Pink Panther.
Ooh, okay.
A new Pink Panther.
Pink Panther.
Yeah, haven't seen it since him. Steve Martin was playing the detective, and that one was different. But I mean, I'm sure we want to see a movie with more an actual Pink Panther, not a live action one. That'd be kind of freaky. I'd say the cartoon one in live action.
Nah, man, they will get someone. It's not even like CGI character. It's just a man in a pink suit.
I'm just saying, I don't want to see a Pink Panther on all fours looking all realistic, and then you're solving like a mystery, and then it just mauls the next guy all behind you and shit. Next, the Thomas Crown Affair. I don't know what that is, but it is an MGM thing. So y'all want to know about that one, go look it up. I'm not sure. When I see a trailer, then I'll look into it if it looks appealing. Next up, they're reviving the Barbershop franchise. Now, if you guys knew what that was, that is with Ice Cube, and there's 3 out there. They're actually not that bad if you guys want to sit down and just watch a classic. I don't know if you've seen the Barbershops.
I've seen the first one, not the others. So.
No? Okay. Well, Barbershop 1's a classic, so that's good. Very good. And the Magnificent Seven. That's, I think we got a movie with that one.
And the Tarantino movie? Oh,
no, that's the Hateful Eight or something.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I want to say it was
the only one that really got me hyped is RoboCop. Haven't had a good RoboCop recently.
Yeah, I honestly I kind of like the newest one.
Yeah,
with
but who
Joel,
asked you? No, I'm joking.
With Joel Kinnaman,
it was pretty good. The one with Samuel L. Jackson for some reason doing exposition.
Yeah, just yelling at motherfuckers.
just explaining the news.
He was just
we got a war in Iran, motherfuckers.
We need robots to save our lives, motherfuckers.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I remember some of it. The scene where one of the big scenes is where like they have him hooked up, and he's like, I don't want to be part of it or whatever, and they're like, all right, cool. So they take away literally everything around him, and it's just his lungs, spine, and head.
Yeah,
that shit's tough.
Yeah,
I remember that scene so vividly.
Yeah, he was
burned into my fucking brain because it was so gross.
Yeah, that's right afterwards. He was like, oh yeah, like I'll do whatever you want. Just don't ever let me see that again. I was just like, damn, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I think that movie is actually, if the CGI was better, and I think maybe a couple scenes would have turned out different, it would have done better. But
Honestly,
yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those guilty pleasures for me. So I'm hoping to see a better RoboCop adaptation. See, I like the new one too, but I think they need to kind of go a little bit more. I don't know. Do you think that they should go back to basics, or with at least with the RoboCop franchise, do you think they need to have a modern take on it, where they need, like stuff like this, where he had the visor that was able to go up and down, but in the original you didn't have that. You know what I mean? The visor was just firmly to his face. That was it. And like he walked like a robot. This one he was able to like move agile, and you know what I mean, and do all that stuff. Is there a point where we stop innovating and trying to move forward and trying to make it look sleeker, and just leave it at a point where this makes sense? He can only move this fast. There's no need to, you know what I mean? Like, obviously a machine works faster now because we're in the future, but it's like, when does it become too much where you have to suspend your disbelief too much?
I think that's the thing with like robots though. Like, because you want to make them look cool, and you want to have it make sense to where they're that advanced. It happened in Terminator stuff too. You know what I mean? So, because think about the first Terminator. I know we're talking about RoboCop, but think about the first one. It's Arnold. He's stiff, whatever. And then the second one happens. It's still the same Arnold, but the bad guy is liquefied metal. And then after that, it's not just liquefied metal. It's a robot and liquefied metal that allows her to shapeshift. And then after that, so on and so forth. But and then it was in Dark Fate where the dude it was two in one technically. So it was like the exoskeleton, and then he could take that off, and that was like another Terminator. See, so you gotta keep people interested enough and innovate it, but at the same time keep that element. That's why they keep Arnold around. but for RoboCop, I think it should be an upgrade thing. I think he should start out stiff and slow, and then I don't know if it's gonna be a movie or show or whatever, but as like goes on, then they make him faster, look sleeker, whatever else. Cause
like build up, right?
Yeah,
not just automatically.
Yeah,
oh,
no.
look,
he looks dope. No,
yeah.
No.
I think that's where the disbelief comes in. I think that's exactly it. Like, yeah, we have the technology to do it, but can we put it on this person? No, we need trial and error. We need to see what this works. Kind of like what Iron Man was doing within the MCU, right? Like, the first movie, he could barely go out into space. By movie 3, he was going out into space and shooting a rocket. You know what I mean? Like, it's... I probably got those movies mixed up. I think I was talking about the Avengers. But,
they won't come for your head. I'm going to clip that. They won't come for your
head. Yeah, I think that's something that... I think that's smart. I think that's the way that it'll probably go with these kind of movies, at least. Like, start them off slow and then gradually build them up. And if it's a TV show, maybe that'll work better, because maybe every single episode he makes modifications so he's at the point where he's not 100%, but he's at 50% by the end of the season, and then build up in the next season as well. And that could be kind of like the underlying story.
Yeah, because kind of like our phones, we got to update. So, I mean, he needs to update too, but don't start him at 100, because then you'll be like, well, how far?
What do we do next? Yeah.
See,
me and you.
We get it.
Yeah.
We get it, bro.
Yeah.
We get it.
This is why I like talking to you. But yeah, so are you guys excited out there? Amazon is going to be basically taking the defibrillator to a bunch of IPs and bringing them back to life. Like I said, I think Legally Blonde is coming up on its last movie. I believe they already had greenlit a third one, so I think that's happening for sure. Stargate, I have to wait to see what happens with that one. That one's going to be coming up as well. We just basically got out of James Bond, so that one's going to be probably in the back burner for a while. If you guys were excited about that, that's probably not going to happen for a minute. I think the producer actually said that he did auditions with 20-year-olds and they just don't have the charisma for James Bond, he says.
See, this is what we were talking about.
Yeah, I just think it's an...
we are ahead of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, I think that it's true. I think James Bond is a more of a, classy, older type cat. Like, they're going to need somebody in their 30s to 40s,
Yeah, but they want to do it over 10 years.
Yeah, it's
That
gonna
would
be
make
hard.
that boy 60.
Yeah.
You got to be a really in shape 40-year-old.
Bond, James Bond.
My name Bond.
So yeah, a lot of good stuff being revived from MGM. Let us know what you guys are excited for. Josh, let them know where they can let us know if they're excited for it. If there's anything on this podcast that we missed that we should have spoken about, any movies that they want us to review, go ahead.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Film Bros Podcast. We post when new episodes are up. And engaging stuff, so you can let us know about any movies or news you want us to cover. If you want to listen to us on the go, Spotify and Apple Podcasts at Film Bros Podcast. If you want to support us in a big way, Zippy Stream at Film Bros Podcast. All it takes is a name and an email. If you want to subscribe to our YouTube, go ahead and do that at Film Bros Podcast.
Yeah, and with that being said, don't forget to, hit all the bells on YouTube, subscribe, like, do all that stuff. At Film Bros Podcast, because we will be posting there pretty soon. We'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.